Okay, hey everyone out there in the YouTube world. Let's do a quick review of the Tusk DSport Adventure tires. So these tires came out, I don't know, maybe a few months ago. Rocky Mountain, as you guys know, Tusk is their brand of accessories for dual sport bikes. So they make everything from racks to crash bars. Now they're making tires, they're starting to make luggage. And I've had a really good experience with the Tusk products. Um, just so you guys know, I paid my own money for these tires. I did not get a discount. I did not get free tires. I paid full price and I mounted them up myself. So I'm going to compare them to some of the popular tires in the dual sport world and give you guys my thoughts after, I think I have around 500 miles or so on these tires. So it's more of an initial impression. So let's just get started. Okay, so like I said, I've had these tires for around 400 or 500 miles. So I've ridden them probably half on the street and half in the dirt. We've got really good soil conditions right now. As you can see, we've had some rain, so we're getting good traction. So the tires that I've used in the past on KLRs and similar bikes, I've also had DRs, DRZs, KTMs, everything out there. I've used the Dunlop 606. I've used the there used to be a Michelin T63, I think it was. I've used the Pirelli MT21. I have used a lot of different tires. Obviously, I think I mentioned the Dunlop 606 was probably I have the most experience on. I've also used the Kenda, what are they, 270s, I think. I don't even know if they still make those. Basically, I would say that the Tusk is probably my favorite all-around tire right now, especially considering the price. I don't know how Rocky Mountain does it, but they get these at such a great price point. So as you guys can see, these have a pretty aggressive knob on them, and they hook up really well. I'd say the rubber is a good compromise. I don't know the durometer or how that works, but it seems like a good compromise between being stiff enough to hold up, but also giving you enough traction for the, in various conditions. So I think they did a good job there. I know that Rocky Mountain, those guys and gals over there, they do a lot of research when they develop a product like this. I mean, you can see I'm also running their Lex exhaust, and I've got their crash bars. I buy stuff from them when I can because I've had really good experiences with their stuff. So again, these tires hook up great in the dirt. I've tried them in the sand, in dry conditions. I've tried them in some mud. So they work really good off-road. I would say at least as good as the Dunlop 606, if not a little bit better. So really good off-road. So get on the street, they are okay for a knobby tire. And what I'm noticing, and this could just be my particular bike, or there could be maybe a manufacturing thing with my front tire or rear tire, but it seems like I notice a little bit of wobble on the street over like 60, 65. It just feels like the front end is really light. And it could be a lot of things causing that. This bike is heavily modified, so who knows what's causing it. I could even have loose steering head bearings, so I'm not going to blame the tires for that. Previously to these tires, I had the Shinko 804, 805 tires, and I really don't like those Shinkos very much. They work pretty well on the street, but they slide around off-road. So I'm much happier with these Tusk tires. Here you can see the profile of the front. I don't know if it's just an optical illusion, but the front tire seems kind of narrow to me. I don't really know if that's true or not. Maybe it just looks that way. Off-road, the front tire feels great. It makes the KLR feel really confident off-road, which is a good thing because it's kind of a pig, as you guys know if you have one. So yeah, the only downside I've noticed is a little bit of wobble on the street, but that could be attributed to a lot of things. I'm not sure. So in terms of pressure, I find that running them around 25 or so is a pretty good compromise for on and off road. If I was doing a lot of serious off-road, I'd probably lower them down to 20. And if I was on the street, I'd probably run them at 30. But you could probably just set these things at 25 and just ride them till they wear out. So anyway, I would say positive review on these tires. Really good impression so far. They mounted up really easily. Oh, I also should just give a disclaimer that I don't really balance my tires, at least not on like my KLR or my dirt bikes and things. I don't have rim lock, so I don't find the balance to be too bad, but just wanted to say that because that could also be contributing to the wobble I'm feeling. So okay, so I wanted to finish this review, and I promise this is the last part. I keep adding more parts to this, but I put some more miles on these tires on the street, and what I'm noticing as I break them in more is that the stability is getting better. So that wobble that I talked about seems to be going away. I'm not sure if it's to do with my steering head bearings or maybe just the tires were new. It's also possible that I didn't have one of the beads seated for those first couple 100 miles, but it's getting a lot better and I don't notice it as much right now. So I wouldn't blame the wobble on the tires. I think it's something else going on. And then in terms of performance on the street, I came up through a bunch of twisty roads to get back home today, and I was thinking more about it. And these things handle in the twisties really good for a knobby tire. So I think they're better than a Dunlop 606. You can see kind of how far I'm getting over, and I could go further, but it's a little wet today, so I didn't want to do that. But they're very confident in the corners. They did a good job with the side profile and the stability of these side knobs, so it really doesn't feel too scary in the twisty pavement corners as something like a 606 or a lot of the other tires out there. So overall, I think I just am more impressed with these tires the more miles I put on them. People are going to ask about durability. I know that. I really can't speak to that yet. But the tread, I've got 500 or 600 miles on these and I haven't noticed much wear. I think they're going to be pretty durable, probably last at least as long as a Dunlop 606, but I'm not sure. Time will tell, but I'll do a long-term review later. Okay, signing off. Until next time.